name, age, and where you were born then, please?
So the artist name that I go by is Vital Powers. I'm 34 now. I was born and raised in Wolverhampton, initially in Marines. Then I moved to Willanow. So, and then now I'm everywhere. I moved to London. Now I live in America. So, yeah.
What's that like, going from here to America?
I did it during the pandemic, so it was more of an excuse. Because if I just did it when life is just normal, I'd have to explain to a lot of people like, yo, why am I doing that? But it was like, oh yeah, the world's going to SHIT. Let's just do something like random. Like no one really questioned why I was moving, because it just felt like, well, why not? Because we don't know what's going on in the world. You know what I mean? And then it kind of gave me an opportunity to like drop a lot of things that I'm already doing. So at the time, I was partially working with the BBC still, and I was working with a company called Ditto Music. And it sounds really bad. I find it hard to like leave a situation. I mean, if I'm working somewhere when I was younger, or if I'm like tied into like a deal with someone, but the time's come to an end, I find it hard to just say, all right, cool, I'm done. I'm like, nah, this is working. Like, let's leave it how it is. So the pandemic, honestly, I low-key loved it, bro. It's just like, yeah, I could just drop everything because I've got an excuse to, you know what I mean? Yeah. So I did that, went to America kind of with no real idea of like what I'm going to attach to, whether it's work or music or both or whatever. But those tougher times or harder choices or decisions or situations allow you to become more, allow you to kind of say, you know, I'm going to come out of my comfort zone. I'm going to do something new. I'm going to try something new. I'm going to throw myself into this space and see what sticks. And if nothing sticks, I'm going to just keep moving until something works. You know what I mean? So I kind of got fortunate where all my skills are very much creative and technical, just in life, always been that way. So I can always kind of diversify into like a media role, into a music space, into a mentor creative space, into a technical, whether it's video, media, I can always do that no matter where I am in the world. And because like the world's becoming crazily, you know, attached to ML, which is machine learning, which everyone knows as AI, I can fall into that space as well. You know what I mean? So honestly, it was like moving to America was like something I needed to do, but not, I've been there 3.5 years now. It was never the plan to stay this long. But now I'm like, how do I do what I said, where I, you know, find a reason to do something else, find a reason to come back, find a reason to move somewhere else in America. I'm in California right now. I'd love to live in Austin, Texas. I'd love to live in Miami, love to live in Canada. You know what I mean? But how do I like make that decision? You know what I'm trying to say? So while I've got no kids, I think now's the time to keep trying to make those decisions. You know what I mean? So yeah.
So what was it like taking the leap?
Honestly, it was easy, man. Again, the pandemic gave me excuses, but it was easy because one, at the time, obviously, I had no kids. And I think that's always like hard for anyone when you're trying to do something like, you can't just throw your kids around, you know what I mean? And I think the other thing was that it's not, I always tell myself, nothing's permanent. So I'm not leaving my family and friends. I'm detouring for a little sec. I'm visiting, I'm exploring. And home is always, I'm literally here now. Home is always home. I'll come back, you know what I mean? Literally the show I just had is called Homecoming, you know what I mean? To just kind of get an idea of like, I don't ever see any major decision as a final. I see it as a step within the journey. And sometimes I got to go around the world just to come straight back home and say, should have just stayed at home. But that's okay because I have this world knowledge now. You know what I mean? I like even just down to like everyday financial things, tax related things. I learned so much being in America because I had to. And it makes me understand the difference between America and England, how and why you can make more money over here. And you know what I mean? Little things that you won't get taught in school. You know what I mean? So for me, it just opened my mind, gave me an extra way or an alternative way to kind of think or proceed in business, you know? So yeah.
Okay. So how has it helped you in business? What type of things have you picked up along the way?
Well, how it's helped me is that immediately I make more money. So that's just an immediate thing. The thing about America is you either figure that out quickly or you don't. And the difference is that you'll end up being poor and in Hollywood trying to figure things out, and I've got no money, you've got nowhere to stay, and you're sleeping on the floor in someone's car. You know what I'm trying to say? Or you get an opportunity because you put your head down and you've really tried and you've maybe had to do something you didn't really want to do to kind of do something you want to do. And now you're kind of like, well, I'm making more money or having more opportunities than the next person. So for me, it's more the kind of latter, the idea of like, I've attached myself, like I said, all the techniques and skills I've always had to be in America and being the British guy, the black British guy who does all these things, you know what I mean? It's a niche, you know what I mean? So I utilize that to kind of like build myself in a sense of in a financial space. What I've kind of learned is like, there's so much money to be made, bro. And once again, I'm in a space more or less by myself. And what I mean is there's no ego in spaces I am in America, because no one knows me. So I don't have to be Big Vital. I can just be V. You know what I mean? And I can play my position until I play. I prefer having the option, because when I come to like I said before we even started, like in my DMs, people are upset with me because I didn't do this and I didn't. You know what I'm gonna say? But no one cares in America what I'm doing, so I could just ignore people all day. And anyone in the UK is like, oh, he's in America, he's doing something. And anyone who's in the US doesn't know me that well, so it just doesn't matter. You know what I mean? So for me, it's like this freedom of I can still be vital when I choose to out there. Here, I've got no choice. I can't look bummy. I can't look a certain way. I can, but it affects the brand. You know what I'm gonna say? Out there, I'm still creating it. I'm creating a new version of the brand. All the mistakes I've ever done in the UK, I can be rid of them, and all the things that I did positively, I can like build on them out there. So when I'm out there, I'm performing with this company called So Far Sounds. They're a worldwide company, but out there, I've like skipped all the fluff, and I know how that works. We're locked in. I do kind of like tours with them. So far since I've been out there, I've done like 27 shows with them. And because it's like smaller, intimate shows, I don't need to like promote everyone. I don't need to talk about every show that I do. I don't necessarily need to act like it's a headline show. I can practice. I can showcase new music. It's almost like how a comedian will go to a club before they do their tour. I kind of do that with music out there, and then I can kind of figure out, as a British person who does grime, dance, or reggae, kind of rap and drill or UK drill, when I'm performing to different crowds in Oakland or San Francisco or San Jose or Sacramento, and within that, if I'm in the hood area, if I'm more in the mainstream space of those cities, how do they take a British person doing those things? What do I need to do in order to make a crowd who doesn't know me understand me? And it's weird because when I've done the show the other day here, I didn't have to do none of that because everyone understands me. Everyone knows how I talk. I can do where I can go fast. It was so easy. Like almost like I should have like cared a little bit more, because I kind of was so relaxed. But when I'm out there, I'm proper thinking about every lyric, every word. I remember I first performed in LA. This is a while ago, before I moved there, 2016. And I got a lyric, and the lyric goes, I'm out here, I'm trying to make it work. I got plans, but the plans don't work. I ain't got to push or move any work. Got a next show next day, I got to work. Point being is, every line ends with the word work. But the way I say work doesn't like translate to Americans. So I've started this show, and I'm like, yo, you guys, do me one favor. Can you just first, when I say this thing, can you just say the last line and say work or whatever? So I'm going through, and they're saying it, but they're not, like, the pronunciation's all off. I'm like, why can't I say the word work? So I'm like, whatever. I get to the end of this random black woman, because I just hear her voice in the corner. It's like, oh, he was trying to say work. AKA, no one understood me, bro, the whole time. And I'm spitting my heart out, you know what I'm going to say? Okay. So it's those little things that I hold on, and I'm like, okay, is it a situation of where I'm going to just do my thing and they have to figure it out? Or I'm going to give them a bridge to understand. And sometimes it depends where I am. Sometimes I'm like, let me just be me, and they'll, because, you know, I've performed in France and Canada, specifically France I'm talking about, where there's artists that were there. I didn't understand at all. I don't speak French, but the vibe was sick. So I'm saying to myself, do I just give them my vibe? Whatever you get, you get. If you want to really figure it out, go research it. Yeah. Or do I create the bridge? And that's like something I kind of battle with, because I do both. And I'm like, I need to stay on one side of the fence, because I can't, like, I want to be able, like, I don't know, Americans don't go anywhere in the world and perform and try and explain themselves, because everyone just understands Americans. But even if they didn't, Americans wouldn't do that, I'm telling you, because respectfully, they have like a very ignorant mindset of the world revolves around America, which obviously isn't true, but that's how they kind of see things. So I always think about that, and I think about some of my artist friends who are from like Rotterdam or Amsterdam, and they obviously, a lot of them speak Dutch and English, and they really have to kind of say, okay, what am I going to do today to see if I could be understood? They might throw a little Dutch in there, even though that's their first like language, but the song that they're making, for example, is in full English in a Dutch accent. So it's just these little things I think about as a performer, because you're on different stages and different spaces, you know what I mean? And like, this is a complete different, like, turning left a little bit. I got a friend who I went on tour with named Shady Oraka. He's opening for Coldplay next week, Tuesday. Yeah, so he invited me to come down, so I'm gassed, obviously. But then, like, even then, he does like rap, right? Rapidly rap. You know what I mean? Coldplay don't do rap. Do you know what I mean? So I'm gonna be in the stage or wherever. Or I don't know if I got VIP. I'm gonna be there, seeing how he makes this work, because it can go left. It's gonna be in a stadium. It's not an arena. It's not a little show. It's a stadium. So if a part of the crowd don't like you, they will tell you, and the rest will follow suit. So I'm praying for him, hoping for him. But he's very good at what he does. But it's gonna be unique to see him rap. Bear in mind, he's known, but it's not like he's got #1 single. You know what I'm trying to say? So he's gonna really have to work the stadium, and that's not easy to work a stadium. People who are not here for you. You know what I mean? But he's sick. He's so sick. So I'm kind of like gonna go there on some kind of like research and kind of obviously bigging him up and screaming my head off to make sure he feels the love. But at the same time, it's like I don't know anyone that's been in that position, so that's gonna be like something nice to learn from. But that's where my head. I know you asked me one question. I went so left.
No, that's exactly what it's for, man. That's exactly what I love. Well, talking about that, being in that position, that's kind of why I wanted to interview you, because you've always, in my eyes, been that guy that's give light to other MCs, other entrepreneurs, and I met you through the BBC, and it seems like you're that guy that people look to for encouragement in the area, you know, and I think that in itself, it's inspirational, you know. So
it's hard though, bro.
How do you take that?
It's hard because I don't do what you perceive that I do. Because I'm not saying I do that. I don't do it to receive anything, and I don't do it to say, hey, that I'm the guy you can speak to. Anything you see me do, it's a natural energy, bro. Like I am naturally gonna see an artist who's doing well, but I'm like, oh, if you knew about that, you'd get some money, or if you knew if you did that, that would help you. Like, how do I not just tell him the thing? Like I've gone through it. I had no one to tell me, so I would feel like a disjustice, or just kind of like in a Jamaican term, you call it bad mind. I would feel like, why wouldn't I tell him or her or them the little thing that could help improve or support them, especially if they want to hear it? Because I'm not just going to throw it at them. You know what I mean? I want to talk that conversation. Why would I not say, hey, this is what you could do, you know, because I did that. And when I tried it, it never worked for me. So I think you should try that. Don't have to take the advice, but I hope it works for you. I don't see why I wouldn't say that. And it's weird because I say that to like my mom, and she's like, you have to understand, not everyone's nice. No. Some people just literally don't want people to win. My brain don't work. Like, I don't get that. There's people that have come up after me and have gone further than me. And in my heart, and I'm not just doing it because you're filming, like, I'm like sick. Like, yo, they figured it out, like tick. You know what I mean? Yeah. Then I'm inspired. You know what I mean? Even if I'm the one who taught them something. And then there's people that, like, in some people's minds will say, don't deserve X, Y, Z. And I'm like, who cares who deserves it? You got it. Like, hopefully they use it well. You know what I mean? But my thing is just like, if you can win, whether it's a music career or a 9-to-5, or you're an entrepreneur, like, the world is just so, it's big, but it's really small, bro. Like, anyone can be anything. Anyone can go anywhere and do anything. So it's once you figure out your own craft, and you can go from A to B, and you can live the way that you want to live, whether it's like mad rich or mad successful or content and just by yourself. You can figure your path, bro. I think you've cut the game. I mean the game of life. You know what I mean? That's all we're trying to do. Everyone, no matter if you're rapping or you're a janitor, bro, you're just trying to figure out to get from A to B and be okay. You know what I mean? Everyone wants to retire at 35 or something and just live off the money they've made, but no one really knows how to do it. Even the people that have done it don't know how they got there, but they're like, yo, we're here now, so let's just, you know what I'm going to say? So,
I think that's why they keep hold of it, because they're a bit like, oh shit, I don't know how I got here. Don't tell them in case I lose it.
So that kills me though, man, because it's just like, I think that's what I'm getting. I'm happy you said that, because there's not like a jug of money, yeah? And then there's like an equal amount for everyone. But if someone takes more, you don't get your piece. It just doesn't work like that. Money will keep being made because people will keep making it and keep spending it and keep losing it. That's just life. There's people that are gambling their whole life right now away in Vegas, bro. At some point, that money's going to circulate back to one of us. You know what I'm going to say? Yeah. And then there's people that are investing. There's people that are, you know, losing millions, but to them the millions don't mean anything because they got billions. And we could probably making some of those millions. So my point is, money's always going to move around. It's always going to circulate. So that mentality of like mine is crazy. Because I would rather, someone used to say to me, would you rather own 100% of like a company that's worth nothing, or 10% of a company that's worth 16 billion? Think about it. Like it's a no-brainer. You know what I mean? But people don't see that a lot of the time. And a lot of people I've even worked with, like I'm saying to them, yo, let's go halves on this thing. Well, you put in so and so, I put in so and so. Well, let's push it like it's our own, because then there's two people working on one vision. That vision will grow, even if it doesn't grow exponentially. It'll be bigger than what I could have done by myself. So then you multiply that to 10 people working on one thing, and they all put in. If there's like a contract at least in place, if not some real trust to say, yo, we're gonna try and push this thing, then it's like you can't not win. Like I've had, I think the problem is I've had evidence of it. When I was like 14 to 16, I think the age is, me and a few guys put together something called Bad Man, and it was like a good version of being a bad man. You know what I mean? We had t-shirts, we did shows, and it's just like naturally, not even knowing about finances and all that kind of stuff. And we're all still friends, but over some time, greed kicked in, and ideas like, oh, my idea, this and my, you know, little things like that. And it's weird because we're still all friends now, but there's like this weird rocky moment where it just kind of fell apart. And I was like, wait, what? Like, how did that happen? And it's weird because then I converted that bad man to, I'm like, how can I take all this, what we did, and make my own? Because no one else here wants to do it, because they're not getting paid all the money. But they're not getting paid all the money because they're not doing the thing. The way we used to work was, let's say it was me and you and two other people, all four of us had like 10 t-shirts. And let's say initially we just bought our own t-shirts to sell. Whatever you sell, you put it back in the pot. And we take that and we buy 50 t-shirts. So now we got money to play with. The 10 that you're going to sell, you keep it if you want. You keep it, or you can put it back. It doesn't matter, because, well, it was kind of like we put some in the pot, but we keep the rest. But you can keep more or you can keep less. And he just started to just like not work. And I'm like, I'll put my little piece in. You know what I'm trying to say? And it just didn't work. And I'm like, it is a mentality thing. But I'm like 14. I'm 14, 15, 16 at the time, so I ain't really get it. I just realized, oh, this ain't working. I'm going to just like, if I still love the friendship, so I'm going to just leave the space. You know what I mean? And like I said, I converted that to, like, my catchphrase is, oh my gosh. And I kind of sing it. So I started putting that on t-shirts instead. My name's Vital. I had a logo. I put that on t-shirts instead. I say powers all the time. I just kind of converted the idea to something. And that all honestly was based off like JME and Skepta back in the day when they first made Boy Better Know. Because like we watched that and I said, oh, we can do that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We did the same thing, and then just, I don't know, man. And obviously everyone's old now, got kids and all these things. So it's like, I don't know, like I look at my brothers, I look at sometimes like the younger artists I used to mentor. I'm like, you don't understand. You've literally got a whole company around you, a whole infrastructure, but you don't see it because you're just friends. But like, if you've got any like real hardcore friends with like motivation, you guys could win tomorrow. Like mentality, man. Mentality.
So let's talk about your art.
Mm-hmm.
So what you said earlier, what type of art do you produce?
I make, if we're talking music, I make grime music, and I think that's the core of me. Then I'll say secondary is like dancehall / reggae. And then it kind of falls into like a UK drill, just because UK drill it's a similar tempo to grime. Grime typically is 140 BPM. Drill can be like 70 or 10 BPMs either side, or 140 or 10 BPMs either side. It's kind of like, it's kind of up for debate, but yeah. Grime is definitely 140. And so like, I'll take those lyrics and I'll spit them on drill. And then when it comes to dancehall, reggae, two different tempos, but I really just make music in that space. I don't really just, some artists are reggae or dancehall artists, and that's all they do when they rap. I will choose to make that music.
Yo! Me tell a brother about 1,000 of times. Drop out of your plan with your mind. You know fit dark, calm and I like lies. Provoke the beast where you want me to climb. Me not nice, but me keep it inside. Me have to pray so me head set right. A long time never. Yo, boom. Me feel like the main character. Gun them a bust with some real caliber. Me really out them, me say me really bow, yeah. Wolverhampton where the thing come. So me, yo, pull up that tune.
Because my family's Jamaican, so it's kind of easy to tap into that space and go from British speaking to like speaking in a Jamaican dialect, which is Patois. But yeah, man, and I just enjoy it, man. And it's not like one of them things where I'm like, oh, I need to cover all these spaces. It's just, no, that's the music I like, so that's the music I make. And weirdly enough, as much as I like all that music, I don't always listen to all that music. I listen to like random other stuff, bro. I'll put some R&B on. I'll put some, because I feel like if I listen to that music, then I'll sound like the music.
Okay.
I want to sound like me on the music, and me might be an influence of R&B, or hearing my friend playing some rock music, or like my girl playing some opera music or classic, like, because that I get a different angle now when I come back over here. I can give you something different. I won't give you the same as the other artist that does the same genres. You know what I'm gonna say?
Yeah.
I'm not saying I don't listen to. Like I went to Big Smoke, which is Skepta's Festival the other day, full of grime. But I'm not everyday headphones in the gym. You know what I mean? Because then you're influenced by whatever you see, interact with, listen to. And I don't mind a little influence, but I don't want to be all influenced by my favorite artists. I think like I would say like Drake, Skepta, JME, Vybz Kartel, Mavado. I love all those artists as artists, but I don't like hammer their music in. I just, when it's on, I listen to it, I respect it, and I move on. Because otherwise, I feel like I'm just going to sound like them, because it's so easy to accidentally sound like somebody, you know what I mean? So yeah.
Who was your original inspirations when you first got into producing or creating music?
Probably the same people, you know. Not Drake, because Drake wasn't about. But Vybz Kartel was, Skepta was, JME was, Mavado kind of was, Sizzla's another dancehall artist, Kano for sure. I would even say Lethal B, because just that era, Wiley, that era, Dizzy Rascal. Dizzy Rascal's first album, I remember when that came out, I wasn't rapping yet. My cousin showed me that. Showed me that album, and I was like, what is this, bro? And my brain couldn't fathom what I was hearing, because it was like, before that, it was British rappers sounding American. And that was the first time I heard a British rapper sounding British, or sounding like he's from London. And he's like, the accent, the cadence, the beat sound like he went into a garage or a basement, like hitting pans. Like my brain couldn't understand what was going on. And I think that was like this kind of mix of like, and I think you used to ask him if Boy in the Corner was grime, he would probably say, what is grime mixed with other things? It sounds like a bit of like bass or drum and bass or D&B or jungle and grime, like just together. And then, yeah, because it's not soft, you know what I mean? Grime has melodic.
Is it really grime then?
I don't know, because even them times, the name wasn't really solidified. Wow. So it was just whatever he made, and it just happened to rap at this BPM. And it just over time, you know what I'm going to say? Because you even asked Kano about Home Sweet Home, his first album. And even in fact, if you just listen to it, there's probably like 2 grime songs in there. The rest of hip hop. Yeah. But it sounded like grime because he was being very British with it. You know what I'm going to say? So I would say, I would say Kano.
In that era of British music.
It was beautiful now, but back then no one really understood.
They
didn't know. That's art, yeah. You have to come 20 years out and say, shit, bro, you remember that, bro?
Yeah. People are like that. They don't see the artist in front of them. And they usually pass and listen to something 20 years previous.
Right, and then they'll say, that's the craze. And it's just a cycle, because they always do that. And I think even when it comes to making music, why I never worry about if my music is received in a moment, because again, even when I perform, I'm performing songs that are like 10 years old, 15 years old, 5 years old, 2 years old, 1 year old. And different people are singing different songs because it links to them in different ways. And then like, even like my youngest brother, he was there, he performed as well. He was there when I made like some of the older songs as a baby. So he's rapping it because like from this pure nostalgia, you know what I'm going to say? And it's sick, man. It's sick to just.
I saw your brother perform, man.
He's sick. He's sick, man. He's sick. And he just does it.
I told her, don't get my face, you snapping and joint. I don't like these girls that act diff. I don't like girl that chat about bread like bitch. Do you really know how I live? Do you really know what mindset did? Do you know how much times that I cleared out fix? I'm talking flicks.
He's cool with it. But again, like his inspirations, I don't know if he would say me, but in a sense of influence, he can't help it. He's literally there when I'm writing songs. Like my mom's gone work, I'm looking after him, I'm writing, you know what I'm gonna say? Like, so it's and I never had that. So I was like, when he started rapping, he was like really good immediately. I'm like, bro, I was never that good when I was your age, right? You know what I'm saying? Because
you gathered it?
Yeah, he's gathered it. I picked it up on a whim when I'm 13, like, and prior not giving a toss about anyone's music, you know what I mean? So
and he just inherited it from a
bro. He was 9 years old rapping to me. I'm like, bro, you sound so sick, bro. You know what I mean? And he's like,
any of your other family members artistic?
You know what's really weird? Like everyone after me is artistic, but everyone before me is not really.
Okay.
I'm not saying I started it because I didn't, but like in my family, like no one really like ventured in music like that. I've got a brother on my dad's side who's older than me, but I didn't know him till I was like maybe 10, 11. And he's back in Jamaica now. But his name's Ray. When I was younger and I was about literally 10, 11, 12, he would come to my house like every week, like on a Sunday or something. My mum was recording and he would just rap. But again, at the time, I don't know what he's doing. It's my brother. I'm just here with him. There's a video of me just sitting on the bin watching him like this. You know what I mean? Like, but as I got older, I was like, oh, he was like telling his stories through rap form. So when you break down the word rap, it means rhythm and poetry. So it's like, from his point of view, obviously also being Jamaican, and like as in there's a lot of struggle in Jamaica. It's beautiful, obviously beautiful, but there's a lot of struggle for some like locals. And like where he was coming from was very much like his worries, his struggles, and just rapping about it. So when I watched the videos back as an older person, I'm like, when I was younger, I just loved that fact that my brother was rapping, but I didn't know why. As I got older and watched it back, I'm like, oh shit, he was saying some stuff. You know what I mean? Like, oh, like this girl or distress or can't get money like this. You know what I'm gonna say? Like, and he was like, it was sick to not even know I was taking that in. You know what I mean? And then like as I got older, and what I haven't known, which I'm gonna do, I'm gonna sample some of this stuff because to this day he's never released any music because he's from a different time where you just rap and that's it. You know what I'm gonna say? And I think it'd be sick if I took his voice and put it in and made it into a chorus or something, and then I made the verses and like I can give him royalties. You know what I'm gonna say? Like so, obviously. So like, thank you for inspiring that because I haven't thought about that in a while. So yeah, obviously. Yeah.
Does he still rap or?
I don't honestly. I started my slow tunes for about a year ago on the phone. It's kind of like, and this is the other side of it. He had like a mental health kind of like issue, so like it's hard to kind of. I don't know if you deal with anyone who has mental health. Just and obviously it's varied as a spectrum. It's not just one way to feel or be, but he's not the easiest to talk to. You know what I'm gonna say? So sometimes you have to keep the image of someone how it was, because he's fine. He's got people around him, but rather than I force a conversation and we argue and now we'll have a problem. You know, like I don't have a problem, so why would I want one? You know what I mean? So I keep the image of him, and like every time I'm with my dad, anytime I'm with my dad and he talks to him, I'm like, I'll talk to him for a little period. But if the conversation is too long that he goes somewhere he doesn't need to go. And it's hard to explain because it's his business, but that's the best I can touch on it is that it's a difficult conversation certain time. And this is not the same thing, but the best way I could explain it is if you had a parent who had dementia, you could either argue with them, and what I mean is they might say, "Oh, the remote's over there," and you're like, "The remote's in your hand." Like, no, and they're like, "It's over there." You're just gonna argue, so you might just say, "Yeah, it's in your hand." Do you know what I mean? Like, just let them believe it. Yeah. So it's that kind of vibe, really. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, I got enough love for him still. Enough love.
So your dad's in Jamaica?
Dad's here still, but my dad calls all his kids. Do you know what I mean? Like whoever in here, he'll call them and talk to them for an hour or whatever. My dad's got a lot of kids, like so many.
You still see him now?
My dad was at the show. That was a show. Yeah, he's chilling in the back, just quiet. Just quiet. Okay. My mom was at the front, he was at the back. I'll send you the clip where I big them up. Yeah.
So you still got the love from both sides?
Oh yeah. I'm a family person, man. Like, and I'll try my best to keep family close. Obviously, I don't see everyone all the time. I'm literally in America, but the invite's open for anyone to come and stay. And when I come back, like I said, I'll do a show or I did the rounds, man. Like I've seen a few of my cousins, some of my nephews and nieces, some of my younger cousins, like second cousins. I got like maybe 4 or 5 more households to visit, and I don't have to, but I love family, so I'm gonna tap in. You know what I mean? And a lot of the younger ones, like they're on my Instagram and Spotify, TikTok. So they'll like see all the things I'm posting, so they're just gassed like, "Oh, you got this bike. Oh, you got this thing." So like they see me as a whole rich guy. Yeah. So I can't move crazy. And when I say I gotta check them because I know what that feels like when that uncle or that cousin or that brother comes to see you and you like I said, my brother.
Yeah.
When it put a light in my chest. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I come see them and they're talking about things I don't understand because the kids are like, "Oh, this toy's got this," and I'm just acting like I'm like, "Oh, really?" And you know what I mean, or whatever. Like, and I'll do all of that, bro, because it's like, again, it's the least I can do. I ain't rich. I can't throw money at them, and that ain't gonna really help their self-esteem. You know what I mean? So I want to be there in the times I can. I'm down for 3 weeks in total. So first week I was doing business. I had weddings to go to, family stuff. I had to do all kind of stuff, like do the show as well. This week is kind of like tapping in with yourself and seeing family. And then the last week is just kind of, because I used to live in London, still got a house there. So just like legal stuff I need to figure out, just to make sure everything's good. So when I go back, I'm not stressing myself, you know what I mean? But yeah, man, I try my best to just, I got to spread myself thin, but that's the only way I can kind of get things done. You know what I mean? So I got to give people time, energy, but not a lot. You know what I mean? Yeah.
So, how did the homecoming show go?
It was good, man.
Where the sitting come from? My Wolverhampton. Where the sitting come from? Never wonder. Where the sitting come from? Let me ask. Let me wonder where the sitting come from. My Wolverhampton. Where the thing? Try it. Where the sitting come from? My Wolverhampton. I don't fly out. Two bullshit. So I eat sushi. I got coochie. Them y'all love chat.
It's weird because this is my 5th headline show, and I never know how they're gonna turn. I have no clue because the first one I sold like 100 tickets and 500 people came. So it's like, oh, okay. So I can't base nothing off tickets then because everyone wanted to pay on the door. It was like this was at the place is called 12 now, but it was called Slade Rooms back in the day.
Okay.
So it was there. I'm sorry, it was 400, not 500, 400 people. Let's say, I added the numbers, it was 300 more. And then I did it again. So that was 2016. In 2017, I did it again, and I probably had like 300. But that was being a bit cocky that day because I didn't promote it as much. I was like, yeah, 400 people will come again. Like, you know what I'm trying to say? I should have promoted it the same way. I didn't, if I'm just being honest. But about 250, 300 people came in total. And I mean, that's including everyone, my artists and everyone else that were in the room. And that was a good show. And then I did another show, but this was part of a tour with Punch Records. And I did it in Birmingham, and I was like 300 people there. But those are free tickets. So that was just like a deal where, like, basically, you know how data works in the sense of a company will work with you and say, hey, well, give you some money to promote this thing. All we need is everyone's emails. You know what I'm going to say? So I got paid and everyone paid with their emails, basically, so bombarded. But that's how it works. So we did that. That was a good show, though. And that was a tour/show. So there's 5 artists on the bill. And the way it worked is, so I went to Bristol, Manny, Birmingham, Hull, and somewhere else. I can't remember. But so yeah, I can't remember. Every artist was from a different place. I covered the Birmingham show, not from Birmingham, but West Midlands or whatever. So every show you was at, that artist that was at that show from that city headlined the show.
Okay.
Does that make sense? So it's like a cool little thing. I said that was cool. And the next show I did was the show after before I left. It was called, I called it the Radioactive Show. That was in Birmingham again at the Sunflower Lounge. So we packed that out. That's like a 150 cap, and it was ramming there. It was good, man. But again, it's not like the numbers are going out. I'm just not as close to town. Like the first 2 shows I lived in Wolverhampton. The second 2 shows I lived in London. The third show I lived in America. So I don't have the access to, like, you know what I'm trying to say, like, to do all the things I usually would. Because I would fly over. I would put things in posters. I would pay people to get like big billboards up. Because like when it looks the part, people are on it. You know what I'm trying to say. But this time it's just internet. I'll come to the show. You know what I mean?
It's an amazing place, though, man.
Nice.
Online, you know.
Bro, if you know how to like create noise, and I'm not perfect at it, but I can make noise. You know what I mean? And I also don't like controversy because then it just makes my brand look like I'm searching for clout or forcing things. But I like to make noise. You know what I mean? You work with it. But the show itself was good. I did this show specifically in collaboration with a company called Artist Auditions. They're based in America, but they do shows all over the world. So they said to me, hey, I see you're going to put on a show. Could we like partner? We'll put 2 artists on there. We'll give you some money to kind of like promote what you need to promote. You know what I mean? So it's like
Was that the guy that was from Houston, the rapper?
So that's why he was there.
Okay.
And there's another guy called King Savage. I don't know them from Adam. Like at the time, didn't know them from Adam. But that was the deal. Like, we'll get 2 artists on, you get the rest. We'll give you some money to put it on, book the show. You know what I'm trying to say? And I'm like, all right, that ain't nothing. I was gonna do a show anyway, so it don't hurt me to use your money instead of my own. You know what I'm gonna say? And then I got my artist on, man. It was good, man. So I had like my brother was on, Jeff Zeno. I had Reaper, so this is family show, so it's called Homecoming. Reaper, who's actually my cousin.
From the same place as Goldie and Beverly, none of these kids are ahead of me. I come true like yo, when you see what you're telling me, they can't cope with the energy. Dude, my neck got the sweet one smelling me. So look at your girlfriend billing me. But see, it calls time when I get on the guy fam, then the whole scene breeding me. It's Maggie when I'm sipping, she gas when I'm slipping. Told me soul in the tipping. Nigerian roots, Jamaican you. But I was born in Britain. I beat on the kitty for my name ain't Zuma. Plus I got mad love for Puma. Connected like a router. The best for you, my guys in the can like tuna.
Trill Troy, who's like a good artist, a good friend of mine. Someone else I'm thinking, Mr. Manage and Be Nice, and I've worked with those 2. They're both from Birmingham. The thing is, I could like always pay or ask or like use my name to get like different or bigger artists or artists in a different space. But when it's my show, I like to be in a room and see everyone I care about. It like as in if I'm getting booked for a show, that's different. So my thing is always I'm gonna just have the people I work with, my family, my friends, and honestly, Reaper is a massive artist. My brothers do very well, so it's not like I'm just some nepotism thing. It's more like no, you're working, so let's put all our energy in one room. You know what I'm trying to say? So that's my kind of thing. But the show went well, and like I said, family was there, friends were there, supporters were there, fans were there. And some random people that don't even know me popped up. It's like, oh, we saw the show, so we came. I was like, all right, let's do it. You know what I mean? Yeah, exactly. Well, hopefully, yeah, you know what I mean? So it was good, man. It was real good.
Is there any like frustrations throughout the world that contribute to your artistry? Or is it all personal things to you?
I do talk about like things in the world, but I'm not going to talk about like politics heavy. I might mention it as a joke, you know, like I'll say something dumb about Trump just as more like a comedic line. I ain't like writing no song about politics or nothing like that, because that's not who I am, and that's not the world I'm from, where politics matters to the people I know. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying it does, because politics affects everyone, but there's no voice for a lot of people. I know I could be the voice, but I'm not tenured enough. I'm not, you know, I'm not educated enough to give a real and educated response. It will just be what I think from what I've heard, and that to me don't help nobody. It just creates more confusion. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I try to talk on definitely personal stuff, definitely relatable stuff, but not world issues per se. And it's not like I don't want to. I just I talk about what I know. I'm trying to think, like I'll talk on like domestic violence, because that's happened in my family. So people can relate to that, whether it's something that can help someone, or someone can relate to and say, shit, man, I didn't know you went through that as well. You know what I mean? Or I can talk about like literally just being black and shit that we go through as black people. I can talk about being from Wolverhampton, or being from like a small city and having to fight through Brum and London to kind of get a name and a face. And then like all the other things that people talk about, love and pain and war, and I mean war as in like war between friends and stuff like that. You know what I mean? But honestly, most of the time, my music comes natural. Like I got a song called Darth Vader. It's not really about anything, but it's a vibe. But within there, I talk about like people trying me. I talk about girls who want to get to know me, but really don't even know my name. like the simple idea. You see, I'm on a flyer, so you did it, and I'm like, but you don't know me though. Like chill out, you know what I mean? But that's just everyday normal things, man. Because I think music should cover everything, but I don't need to be the person covering everything. You know what I mean? I'm not a news outlet. Come to me for this vibe. Come to me if you want to get grimy, if you want to have fun, if you want to bounce with me, if you want to hear some cool like reggae vibes, you want to just chill, if you want to smoke, listen to my music. You know what I mean? But yeah, man. In a nutshell, yeah, I don't really go too crazy on topical things of the world. You know what I mean? So more personal for sure.
So what sparks you to start to write, or to start to make a beat?
So I don't actually produce, just so you know. No, it's all right. Just so I don't want no one to think that. I engineer, so like I'll mix and master my music.
Okay.
I record myself and I write all my stuff. And most of my beats come from like friends or producers I've met, or just if I hear something, I'll just pay a producer like, can I lease that? Can I have that? Or whatever. But what inspires me is all the things I said, but the process then really is a vibe. So if I'm in a studio, or if I'm at home in my home studio, and I hear a beat, the reason why I don't produce, I can and I've tried, but I'm not a fan, is that when I was in school, I did film studies, and then when I was in university, I did something called interactive media on the web. The problem with those two courses, it made me analyze film, video, production, animation to an annoying level. AK, I'm in the cinemas, bro. I'm watching Fantastic Four the other day. I'm seeing like lighting a bit off. I'm seeing the boom mic come in, because I'm just noticing shit I don't need to notice, bro. So I don't want to produce music like beats.
Yeah.
And now I'm hearing hi-hats and shit. Like, does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because when I'm making music, bro, it really is a feeling. So I don't want to distract myself or distract the feeling away by hearing the technicality in a song. I don't need to hear that. It's a vibe I want to give you. When you listen to music, not everyone, but maybe the everyday person, they just want to know it sounds good. Does it feel good? They don't want to know, oh, that hi-hat's a bit strong. That bass, they could have doubled up on that bass. Or they should have panned it left and right. So I can't make music being in that space, because then I start making music about anything. I'm just trying to make it technically good, not actually good. Does that make sense? Yeah. So, the feeling just, yeah. And I'm not saying I couldn't like diversify myself and get myself to a place where I can like switch out of that mode. But right now, I just like not making production. I think if I ever got to a place where I made crazy money off music and I had number ones and all these things, then maybe I'll pivot to that, because now I got another task to try and overcome. But I haven't done that. You know what I'm gonna say? So I'm comfortable where I am and what I'm doing. But it really is just a feeling, man. Like I'll play a beat and I'll just start mumbling. I'll be like da 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 da, and I'm like, okay, so what? Okay, I'm not even not what I never say what rhymes, but like I'll be thinking what goes with this. So it'll be like, I got a flow and the beat, and the flow that I've just made, the sound goes with the beat. So now I need to put words in it. But what's it telling me? What's it saying? That's the flow. Da da da. Okay. Look, I was never. Okay, I was never what wasn't I? And I'm literally talking to the beat in my head. What wasn't I? Okay. Oh, okay. I wasn't this. And I just start going nuts. And then sometimes like I might not finish that song, but that's all I could get from it in that moment, and I'll leave it. Come back in a week after. Now I've already got the flow, the style, the direction, the topic, because the beats told me to say it. Now the rest is easy, because I'm feeding off myself at that point. You know what I mean? In other cases, if like someone sends me a song, say, yo, and the topic's this and and I might, it don't feel like it's that, but that's their song. I gotta just be the MC now. So now I'm out of creative mode and I'm in like logistic mode or like logical mode, where I'm like, okay, that's the flow that they've got for that. Do I match it? Do I marry it? Do I bounce off it? Do I flip it completely and sing? Do you know what I mean? And that's when I'm a bit more logical with it. So if you ever see me do features, which is rare recently, if I do features or anything like that, it's always just know I made the verse in less than an hour, easy. But if it's my song, just know I made it probably less than an hour, or it took me 3-4 years, because there's no rush. Yeah, there's no rush unless there's a rush. You know what I mean? But there's no rush for me with that, man.
Do you ever have those sitting on your computer and you go back to it from a few years ago and you think this is gold?
So it's both. I get some, I'm like, why did I make this tune, bro? This tune sounds trash, bro. Or I'll be like, oh, I see why I didn't finish it, because it's like not going anywhere. And sometimes I'm like, how the fuck did I let this pass me? Yeah. And then I'll literally pull it out and I'm like, okay, I need to finish it. I've got a song called Too Easy. It's like a proper like, it's like too easy for be a dog. It's like real calm and smooth. I don't know what genre it is. It's like a dancehall-y reggae vibe, but I'm just talking like this and the whole thing. I literally made 3 lines 4 years ago, and I only finished it. I finished it January, and it's out now. But that song has been there. Like, you know what I'm gonna say? And then like there's a song called Good Morning it's on this project called Nothing to Declare. Song called Good Morning. I made that, I would say, a month before I released the project. And you would never tell that one's 4 years old and one's a month old, because obviously after I've made all the songs, I might, if I'm releasing a project, I might have 20 songs, and I'm like, is this an EP or album? Where am I going? So I start putting them in order, and then I start listening. I'm like, well, that doesn't even go, or that doesn't even make sense, or I'm not even that place in life anymore. So that I don't get rid of it. It's just not for this thing. So then it's like a jigsaw, like a puzzle, and I'm like, okay, move things around. Okay, well, I wanted an album, but I've only got 5 songs, and I think these 5 songs work together. So I put that over there. What are these songs telling me? Where am I going with this? What am I trying to prove in all these songs? What am I saying to myself? Sometimes I'll be walking, I'll just see a sign saying, like, I literally saw a sign saying Nothing to Declare. I was in the airport. I was like, oh yeah, that's sick, because it's the idea of like, I'm always traveling, and I've like nothing to declare. Like the declare is like you declare what items you have or whatever. I ain't got nothing extra to tell you or to show you. I am what I am. What you see is what you get. And that's kind of what this music does as well. And it was the idea of like me kind of like having nothing more to say on any topic or any weird topic you would ask me. But I'm also like kind of like flying. So it's kind of this idea of like, and that's what the music is. It's very much like I'm talking about being in America, being in the UK, but then also outside of the music, don't ask me no questions, bro. I've told you everything. You know what I'm gonna say? Like, not you can ask me everything, but you know. So
musically.
Yeah, musically. No, in any sense it's whatever, but it's just where I was at that time, and all them other songs that I didn't put nowhere, they just be on a hard drive, bro, and I might make 3 more songs here, and I'm like, well, have I got anything that makes sense with it? let me redo this verse. You know what? That doesn't work with that anymore. To me, it's like a beautiful game. I'm piecing together things like beautifully, you know what I mean? And for me, I enjoy that. Some people will sit there and say, I need to make an album about car keys. To me, that's forced. Because you're saying you need to make it, but you haven't made it. So that means you're just making it for the sake of making it. Like nothing real's coming from what you're saying. For me, I've got real songs that may have not worked with one thing, but they work with something else. So I leave them there for when they're ready to be released. You know what I mean? And some songs might never get released because they just didn't work with anything, or I said something there that literally doesn't relate to me anymore. So I can't give it to you now because it's not me. In that case, I might redo it. I got a song called Lisa with an artist named Be Nice. He was at the event. We performed it. But that original beat was a song called Drunk. I made a song called Drunk in 2012. So that's how long I've had that beat. That project wasn't released until like 2016 with that song on. But the original version of that song is called Drunk, and it goes, drunk, I'm a way of you again. Tell them, set me, I forgot crazy again. God, do please, you have to save me again. Wicked is them, love it, so something like that. Anyway, but it was a 6 song and the beat was cold. I remember I made just that little piece there, and I was sitting on it. I was like, I need to finish it. And I just couldn't, bro, for years. No, I could write something, but not the thing that makes me feel good. And then I remember, so there's a big dancehall artist called Spice. Me and B Nice got booked for this show in London, obviously like 2015, I don't know, sometime around that time. We've gone on a train together. We got up there, we're performing, whatever. But before we performed, we were in the back in like the green room. And he's like, yo, we need to make a song. I was like, we need to make a song. And I'm going through my beats and I find that beat. But the way the beat's saved is I've got Me Drunk, I'm a way of you again. And then I've just got the beat running because I was trying to finish it in my spare time. So I'm going through beats. That one's playing. He doesn't even hear the drunk part because he just like thinks I'm going through songs. And he hears the beat and we just start going and go. Point being is, and then it was filmed as well. So there's like a video online where you see us making it like on the flight. We got back to Wolves and I had a studio in my mom's house at the time. So then we finished the song there and then like we just had the song out. But the point is that song has been a thought process, including the beat, from 2012. Probably came out maybe 2017 it came out. But then we performed it again as early as 2 days ago, which is 2025. You know what I'm gonna say? Like, so
still relevant.
Still relevant, bro, because that song is crazy. It's called Lisa. So I'm not sure what Be Nice is talking about, but I'm referencing a girl named Lisa who, how do I put this? Okay. She used to do a lot of like, she was a freaky girl, basically. So I don't speak us. I mention her name, but she'll never know. But I don't really give any clues to anything. I kind of talk around things, you know what I mean? But she was just a freaky person, but she's a bit too attached. So the song kind of comes from her, and then I kind of just go to speaking about girls in general. But she made that song a thing, and she'll never know. Like, you know, so
she might do.
She still won't. You know what? She won't, because I haven't spoken to her since those times. So unless she actually checks for my music and she thinks, well, maybe there's another, you know what I mean? Like, she won't, and she doesn't know that I thought she was freaking all these. You know what I'm gonna say? Like, I just remember like being in my space, like, yo, this girl's crazy. You know what I'm gonna say? Like, so she'll never know, man. She'll never know. And if she does, I'm sorry.
So, where do you want to be with your art in the next 5 years, say?
That's always a weird one because people have asked me that before, and honestly, I will say the word like I want to be content. But I've been content sometimes, and sometimes when you're content, you start to not be content anymore, and you want to like, oh, I want to do something else. So I think as long as I can pay for things, as long as live comfortably, if my brother or my mom said, yo, can I get this? I can get it. That's cool. But more of that, I want to be able to like buy my youngest brother a car or something, or my other brother, I want to, I don't know, buy him a house. Like these kind of things, I want to make sure my mom's mortgage is paid off. I want to be able to say, yo, family, we're going to, I don't know, Mexico and I'm paying for it. But those feelings to me, like there's no reward like those feelings personally, you know what I mean? The only problem is my issue is that I sometimes want to do that for everybody, and that's when I get hurt because people will take advantage, you know what I mean? So I have to kind of cut it down to just my 2 brothers, my mom. You know what I'm gonna say? Yeah. You know what I mean? Maybe my girl, obviously, kids, obviously, when they come, you know what I'm gonna say? So it's about like people are fickle, you know what I mean? So yeah. There's only so I'm learning, or I'm receiving the fact, because before I would be ignorant of it, that I can't fix the world. I can't help everyone. I can't be nice to everyone. I can't expect everyone to be nice to me when I'm nice to them. I can't expect to be respected by everyone because I show respect. Like these things I've had to learn, or again, accept. Because I've always known, but like, nah, man, I can change, man. People can change. Like, if you're stale, you're stale, bro. That's what I'm learning, you know what I mean? So, in a nutshell, it's like kind of where my head's at with a lot of things like that. You know what I mean?
So is there a piece of advice that you've learned on your travels that you pass on to the next generation?
Nobody cares. That's it. I can't explain it, but if someone tells you that and you don't understand what it means you still got a lot of lessons to learn. Like and you're like, nobody cares. It's like beautiful because like we all want to be cared about, no matter how we put it and say it. And like the reason why you have a partner is so someone can care about you. The reason you love your mom or your dad is because they care about you. The reason why you love your kids and hope you can help them because you want them to say thanks, dad, or thanks, mom. You know what I'm gonna say? You want to be cared about. And this idea that they'll say like, out of everyone, like a child or a dog or a woman or a man is the only person or thing that is loved with condition, and everyone else is loved unconditionally. You love your dog and your pets unconditionally, your kids they don't have to do anything to be loved. A man has to do something to be loved. So it's this idea of like, if I understand that nobody cares, I'm not saying, I don't actually mean no one cares about me. I mean, I can't fall victim to the idea that, oh, but I thought you cared, bro. I thought when I did the thing for you that you like, because then I'm losing myself. If I just like, well, I never expected you to care, so it's cool. Still got love for you. I never expected you to help me out. I never expected you to have my back. If I can if I can think like that a little bit, not completely, I can be rid of this ego or this idea that someone should care about me, because it's actually it's more not devastating. It's distracting, but it's more like destructive to oneself if you believe that someone else should care about you, because the moment they don't, you've relied on that idea, so you lose a footing a little bit. But if it's okay to just believe, no one cares, it's cool, even if they do, if you just tell yourself that just in that small little sentiment, then no one can disappoint you, bro. And then therefore, hate, you can be rid of at least a good amount of hate from your heart if it ever comes. Because if I give you all my time and all my money, then you show me you don't care and I thought you did, bro, you can't help the hate that you're going to feel towards that person. But if I expect you to do me wrong, if I expect you to not care, if I expect you to lie to me, I'm not saying I want you to, but if I just expect it, if it happens, I'm not losing sleep. I can carry on about my day. So I think that, and it's a bit of a darker one, but in my time of doing music, this is what I've learned, you know what I mean? Is that nobody cares. And then if you can, again, understand it the way I've explained it, at least, without, taking it like too deep, you can get through, man. You get through life, man. And I don't hate nobody because of that. But enough people, I promise you, have let me down, like down to like last week, down to the show. You know what I'm gonna say? But nah, man, people are gonna be people, man. People prioritize what they need to prioritize when they need to prioritize it. You know what I mean? Someone will say to me, "Oh, Bites, I got your back, man. I love you, man. You don't got, bro. I'll do anything for you. Hey, bro, could you lend me a $5? I ain't got it. If you would ask me 5 minutes ago, then you'll see that same person spending money. That's just an example of like, you can feel let down by someone, but if you already believe no one cares, you don't care what they would have done.
Don't hold the expectation.
Don't get rid of it, bro. Throw it away, bro. It's dead. It's just gonna hurt you. You know what I mean? Like my dad. I think my dad said this to me before. He's like, I think it could have been my mom. One of them. It's the idea if me and you have a problem, but I'm the one who's upset, you don't feel nothing from that. You know what I'm gonna say? Like, it's better that I just kind of, you don't care? Well, I don't care. Cool, whatever. Rather than I'm angry that you don't care, because now I'm spending all my time, all my energy, and you're living rent free in my head. You know what I'm gonna say? So we just move on, man. Nobody cares, man. And it's not the most positive, but you asked me. that's
No,
right.
it's gotta be asked, man. It's gotta be asked. If you could go back to an 8-year-old you, is there anything specifically that you'd say?
Run. That's all. What would I say? Oh, be easy on yourself. I don't know if it's because I'm a Gemini or if it's just because the world I live in. There's been times where I'm just not easy on myself, man. And I realize if you're not easy on yourself, Like you can motivate yourself. You can be harsh on yourself to go to the gym and look after yourself. But there's always like a space to be easy on yourself. Like don't stress yourself because I don't know. Let's say you got a B in a test and you meant to get A. Don't like be easy on yourself. Like you did okay. Try again harder next time if that's what's important to you. But don't crush yourself and your spirit in that moment because you didn't get the A but you got a B. Some people strive on C's. You know what I'm trying to say? So yeah, I would be a little bit easier to myself, but not to the point where I lose focus or I'm not as motivated or inspired. You know what I mean? Just so I don't ever in my mind treat myself bad. Because I'm the only me I know. Like it's just me living in here. It's just me one. So I would hope that I could like tell myself, yeah, man, you're going to make some mistakes and it's okay. Make the mistakes, take your time, sit down, sleep on it, move forward. You know what I mean? And I don't regret anything, just to be clear. I don't regret anything I've ever done. Good, bad, silly, mistake, in a drunken state. I don't regret nothing because I think without that, I wouldn't be here. And I think if I was to regret something and change it, I may be in a worse space. You know what I'm going to say? You don't know. You learn from the harder times. You know what I mean? So I don't regret nothing, man.
Nice.
Yeah.
And artists, I usually ask, is there a lyric that you've got in your head that you'd like
to rap? You literally already asked me this, so I should have just had it ready. But I was driving at the time, bro.
It's usually better off the cuff, but
nah, it is.
One of them. If not, it's okay. It's fine.
I like this lyric because it's kind of the one I was talking about. I'll do the full thing. I'm out here, I'm trying to make it work. I got plans, but the plans don't work. Look, I ain't got to push or move any work. Got a next show, next day I got to work. So I got to push this thing until it works. Man, try block up the gears in the works. Me, I got bare new tracks in the works. Got really thinking family tracks that got to work. Look, I ain't got to rest or stress, just work. Too much pressure, my head don't work. Man said the love, fake love don't work. Girl said the love, fake love don't work. 9 to 5, I swear down, that's work. From morning, man, I put in the work. See, man, tried and failed and work till I'm dead or I'm dying from a lamb, that's work. Just do me one favor, If you want to move with flavor. Man, I got bread. Man, I wrote baker. Girl, I get down like Undertaker. Yeah. Might send me in a black trap. Yeah, I'll leave it there, bro.
Nice.
I'll leave it there, bro.
Thank you for your time, man.
Oh, my guy.
Really appreciate it, bro.
I appreciate the whole setup, the whole vibe, man. That's me, man. Thank you, bro.
We're not that different. We're not defined by age or race. We're not that different in any time or any place, brother. Believe your hustle and your grind. Sister, we need your voice, so don't be silent. Slide,